Raymond van Barneveld is through to the Masters final for the second time. He's beaten Mensur Suljovic 11-7 here in Milton Keynes, and he could well be up for a repeat of the 2015 final against MVG. But MVG has to beat Gary Anderson first. That match coming up next. So a 94 average for Barney tonight, 90 for Mensur, 9 180s between them. But look at those missed doubles. 21 for Barney, 17 for Mensur, 38 between them in that match. But it is Barney who has reached the final, and that is the stat that matters. And Barney is downstairs waiting to talk to Dan Dawson.
Well, Raymond, it was a bit more of a struggle than the previous games, but you got the job done.
So good this afternoon, you know, and so bad tonight. For me, it looks bad. At the end, it was 94, but I never ever felt comfortable. Never ever. I don't know why. I was struggling. I never ever felt right. Mensur took the first opening legs, and then I'm thinking, oh wow. The way I was feeling at that time, I think it is going to be 5-0 in the break, because I was nowhere near of confidence. So weird. And then 3-2 leading, and then suddenly you had a good run, a couple of legs on the spin, and then struggling. You know, it looks like when I was throwing, a man behind me was grabbing me and then tried to avoid releasing my darts. Kind of feeling of that, very weird. I never had that before.
I've never even heard of that before. However, you're into your first TV final since this tournament 3 years ago. You take away the World Cup of darts. That's a big thing for you.
Yeah, of course. Since 2014, when I won the Premier League, no more finals. So this is a good start, 2018.
It's either MVG or Gary Anderson. Do you want another crack at Michael van Gerwen in a final?
Well, to me, they're both magnificent players. It doesn't matter. You know, Gary is awesome, Michael's awesome. I don't know who I'm going to pick, you know. They're both playing really well. Michael, obviously, is, of course, the number one in the world. Gary is third at the moment, so I go back to the practice room and have a coffee, and then look who I'm going to play in the final.
Congratulations, through to the final. Good luck tonight.
Cheers. Thank you, Phil. Thanks.
Yes, a funny old game, that one, between Barney and Mensur. Strange forces at work there, but Barney is through to the final. Huge positive for him, because they've been hard to come by of late. And we will see the final in around an hour's time. But who will he face? Let's head back to the stage and rejoin John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to Arena MK. Yes, a very special welcome to Milton Keynes, and this is our second semi-final of the Unibet Masters. That's brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, live on ITV Sport. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we welcome the millions of viewers joining us around the world. It's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, from Scotland, a Masters finalist, a two-time Premier League champion, and the former two-time back-to-back champion of the world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and now from the Netherlands, here he is, the current world number one, the reigning and defending 3 times Masters champion, and ladies and gentlemen, the former 2-time champion of the world,
big guns in the world of darts on the stage for this second semi-final, and a couple of big guns in the commentary box for us. Taking over are Chris Mason and John Rawling.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Yeah, on paper, on previous televised appearances, not a lot between Anderson and Van Gerwen, but on form in the last match, you have to say Michael Van Gerwen very much good value for that 4-1 on quotation with the bookies for this match. Against Wade, he was terrific, Chris.
Yeah, 111 average was his end average, but he breached that 120 mark in around the 7th leg. So, as you said, if they play to that form, you fear that Anderson might be on the end of one.
Anderson with his bad back, he's got it strapped up. Says he's feeling okay, but then he would say that, wouldn't he? But Michael Van Gerwen, winner in the last 3 years. He did look terrific in that 10-2 win.
Prolific, wasn't it?
Against Wade. At one stage he was averaging 120, wouldn't he? He couldn't miss.
Nope.
Well, we will see. Gary at his best, of course. One of those who can match Michael Van Gerwen, but incapacitated, is it too much to ask? Great start by Van Gerwen.
As you said, John, they played. This is their 17th meeting. It's only 9-7 to Michael, so that just backs up your point. But for me, that's a full, healthy Anderson that's not playing with a severe injury to his back. But he's loving these, going back to these darts. He had a 9-darter in 2012 with 100. He said in practice, they're feeling good.
For those who are listening this afternoon and watching, would have heard me saying that yesterday it was hurting Gary so badly that I made some sort of merry little quip when I was chatting to him, and it hurt him just to laugh.
Yeah.
Never mind throw a dart.
They say he's having to hold his breath when he throws to make sure that there's no movement that will jolt the shoulder. Double 18 for a 12.
76.
Anderson way back on 2-6-1. The problem with playing Michael, he's going to make you force everything.
Van Gerwen double 9 for the opening leg. Very good. Is that a 13 darter?
Sure is.
Smooth as you like.
Continuing where he left off against James Wade, who I thought, even though he took a bit of a hiding, threw very well at times. Looks in a much better place than he did just a month ago.
96.
Hard work on the practice board paying off.
He'd probably be saying, well, didn't do him much good, did it, when he's gone behind? But I mean, you're looking at the style of his throw, aren't you? The way he's actually performing overall.
Yeah, the big picture. The throw looks good, the rhythm, the timing of release. He hit a few 180s. He finished with 97 and change average himself, so he didn't throw horrifically.
140.
I've seen averages of a lot less and get through, so.
Gary was wanging in the 180s earlier on. Overall high scoring wasn't so good, but he was slotting home the 180s. Do with a few now.
11 in the tournament. Michael Van Gerwen's at 8. It's always a surprise when you look at the big numbers he seems to put out.
Crowd, you sense, willing an Anderson performance here. Always tremendously popular wherever he plays around the UK. It's unlucky.
I'm not sure whether that was a bounce out or it went into the other dart.
20.
He's not too wild about bending over to pick his darts up, is he?
The treble puts this 136 under massive pressure.
Well, let's see if he can put this one away. Well, it's not going to happen now. Van Gerwen then for the break of throw, 72, Chris.
72.
Has options, 48-24. Another one of those, tops.
32.
18 darts and one leg at a double.
Anderson massively needs this. Tops now. Yeah, well done. One apiece. And you hear again, underlining what I was saying, enthusiastic cheers from the crowd. They want him to perform here and make a match of it.
Well, that was a huge bonus. A 20-dart leg on throw, and you get away with it against Michael Van Gerwen. Don't get too used to that, because it won't happen very often.
5-1 shot in a 2-horse race, Gary Anderson. Michael van Gerwen 4-1 on.
134.
He was a great bet this morning, you know, at 6-5 on.
Certainly after that display this afternoon. But that 6-5 wasn't around, well, 5-6 wasn't around long.
No, well...
He was 4-5 in the opening match for next Thursday's Premier League against Rob Cross. That didn't last long.
And on the basis of what we've seen today, you would fancy Van Gerwen very heavily to win that one.
130.
130 for 2-1.
He started very well, Van Gerwen, but the last two legs have been indifferent.
100.
86 left, 12 darts thrown. 18-18 ball if he doesn't hit the treble.
He's got a 1.
This isn't good.
45.
It's a different Van Gerwen to the Van Gerwen who played
Night and
James
day.
Wade. Good dart. Tops.
90.
That was for the break of throw.
Clipped the wire, didn't it? An audible click. 2 at double 16.
He's missed it again.
20.
1 out of 5 on doubles. Double 10. Double 5. Oh dear.
Michael requires 60.
May look back at this leg in about 20 minutes.
He's showing the third leg. Michael
Have a look behind him.
Game on.
Only a hold of throw for Van Gerwen. And the first maximum of the match.
80.
Saw the usual kiss on the way in for little Ty from Gary. And his partner Rachel, of course.
97. $99.
Quite at it, is it? Averaging 88. Put that in your notebook.
100.
Anderson averaging 86.
Long day, isn't it? I mean, it's a question as to who lasts the better when we get to the final. You know, is Barney going to be able to put 3 matches together back to back on a day? It's a relevant question. Great dart from Anderson, brilliant.
Barney looked a little jaded in that match against Mensa, didn't he, at times?
85.
So, all going with throw. Oh, Anderson, I'd like to have a break before this first little interlude, which we get at the end of this leg.
Just a ton. Great chance for Anderson.
Oh yes, fill it up.
140.
Far away. Michael chuntering away to himself.
He's having a great time of it at the moment.
60.
I've seen again and again when Michael van Gerwen does have a bad phase, a down phase in a match, you really need to jump on it, because at any stage he's capable of cutting loose.
Getting about 161.
Has to go.
That's a good setup, isn't it?
Should go ball. Yeah, 20 for ball. It's awkward. This
Blocking him,
good.
isn't it?
Yep.
Blocking him. Oh, what a dart! What a dart that was! That was blocked, Chris. It really looked as though he was finding it difficult to find a way in.
Had to come all the way around the first dart, throwing from probably about 8'1" all the way to the right of the hockey.
Great dart. And so it is still with darts. Michael van Gerwen leaving the stage, leading 3-2. Well, he needed this. Had to make the adjustment.
Yeah, look how far across he's gone. He can only see half the ball. What a dart that was.
Absolute quality from Michael van Gerwen. As a result of that, he holds his throw. But at this stage, against James Wade, he was averaging better part of 120, averaging 92 here, and Anderson with an average of 93, despite his injury worries, is actually out-throwing the world number one.
Oh, he's well in it, isn't he, at the moment? It's all on throw, so not very often after the first mini session you can say that when Michael's involved, because he usually hits the stage running.
Well, he's not wearing a corset, Gary Anderson, so I can't make the Harry Houdini observations about getting out of difficult scrapes, but he is strapped up to try and get away from the pain which has been hampering him through the weekend.
Just trying to give him some stability, because it's when he releases the dart, there's a sharp pain, a shooting pain, so it must be a trapped nerve, I presume.
Good dart.
Stay there. He'll need 170 or 170. So 140 from Michael to do the same.
And he'll do it. If not better, which he has. Time to find a 180. So 170 needed. He's got one. Oh, unlucky. It looked as though it was in for two.
Yeah, certainly did. That was unfortunate. Trouble 20 ball. Would have hit it.
90 then for Gary Anderson. Treble 20 for double 15. For the holder throw, which he can't do now. He's annoyed.
Break opportunity then for Michael. Tops. 13 dart leg. That's better.
And we talked about, if you don't take your chances, how quickly it can turn when you're playing the Flying Dutchman. And here's Van Gerwen going to go into one of his purple patches now.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned earlier. That's what he does. If he is playing indifferently, that's when you have to pounce and hit him hard and keep him on the back foot, because you know at some point he's going to go on one of them streaks.
Well, I got the impression that Gary Anderson was throwing angry against Gerwyn Price earlier on. He really dislikes the man. Here, perhaps a little bit more rhythm.
That suits him, that mentality, when he's got a bit of spite about him, and it's totally against his nature, I can assure you. A nicer guy you couldn't meet.
42.
Well, this is a chance now.
Bag of nails on throw under pressure,
And some. Great darts. Terrific time to nail his second maximum. What a response.
possible 11 dart leg for Gary. Yep, double 18. Take a 12 darter. There we go.
That's a quality leg of darts for Anderson.
He meant that one.
Well, he's on it at the moment. And the break back, so still nothing in it.
Michael almost perplexed so far by his performance.
It's been so in and out, hasn't it?
59.
Patchy at best.
Raymond van Barneveld waiting on. He'll perhaps have one eye on this match somewhere in the practice room, relaxing, trying to keep loose, trying to keep his eye in.
99.
Michael seems to be just a little bit quicker than normal. Whether that's pressure. I don't think that's in by his reaction.
97.
That is, so still a best part of 140 in front.
Anderson continues to average marginally higher than Van Gerwen, although that narrows the gap.
Yeah, 97.64 Gary, 96.86 Michael. Great switch twice.
134.
Quality leave. How does Van Gerwen respond? Needs a treble.
94.
That's a good last
Gerwen
start.
70.
Subdued. 20 for tops. 4-4. Again, an awkward dart has to come around.
15.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd. Van Gerwen 110 now. 20 his first shot. He's got the treble. Double 16 for 110 checkouts. No.
Gerwen crowd 20.
Oh, breathes again. Double 10. He did tell me he disliked it and he hit it.
Ever since he told you he disliked the double 10, he's been rattling them in like it's his favourite. You ever think you've been had?
On this occasion, yes.
Second maximum for Van Gerwen. It's the fourth of the match overall.
It's going to be the start of one of those streaks we spoke about.
Well, it would be no surprise if he did. Still going on throw though.
4 from 10 at the moment on his finishing stats.
121.
4 from 12 for Anderson.
Maximum number 3. Has the blue paper been lit?
56. Michael require 45.
He's had 9 darts to 45. Oh, he's missed the 13. Double 16 now. Oh, who cares about missing double? Who cares about missing 13?
No mistake that time. 12 dart leg.
So the interval at the end of this leg again. It's not the start that Anderson wants, because 6-4 for Van Gerwen, and he'll have that little cushion.
Great opportunity now with that start.
Had so many good tussles over the years. This is a repeat of the final last year, 12 months ago. On that occasion, Van Gerwen won 11-7.
Played in 9 TV finals. It's incredible. 9 of their 16 matches on TV have been finals, and it's 5-4 to MVG. So never had it all his own way.
Maybe the tension which has been evident in his throw at moments, is perhaps that has happened.
Spot on.
59. Michael Ricard 136.
So this is for the break of throw. 136, looking highly likely now. Not going to happen on this occasion. You could do with a treble there. 419s is the target, but 2. Not bad.
Interesting first dart from Gary.
59. Michael requires 78.
Making a very good fist of this leg. 78 then, Van Gerwen for the break. Last leg before the interval. Tops now.
58.
Lucky for him, Gary way back, 216. You can see when he actually reaches with that dart, he hits the treble, but the pain is evident.
Well, that's the double he wanted, and the trademark clenched fist from Michael Van Gerwen, who just getting himself a little bit psyched up. He's not happy with the way he's throwing so far, but he's got his nose ahead. That's an important break of throw, and Van Gerwen leaves the stage ahead of his great rival Gary Anderson, the number 1 seed. The defending champion is now 6-4 up. Semi-final time here, but coming up live from Butlins at the beginning of March, a 3-day event, one of our special favourites, the UK Open. Be sure to enjoy all the action with us here on ITV4. Meanwhile, in this second semi-final, who's going to play Raymond van Barneveld later on this evening? Well, a break of throw just before the interval for Michael Van Gerwen. And he leads Gary Anderson now 6-4, and now has the darts.
Yeah, some of the UK Open qualifiers have been taking place this weekend, and one of our old favourites, we like these too, the 180s. Paul Hogan's got his place in the finals.
Good darts, good riposte. Yeah, good player, Paul.
Ian Jopling, another one that I know got through. Mark Craddock.
100.
Tough to get through those Rileys. It's a long, long day.
Oh, great darts. Back with a 140, 180. And how about this from Van Gerwen?
170.
51 after 9.
Where's Anderson going to be after 9?
60.
Not quite where he would wish.
51.
Should be 19. He's missed the big number again. 48 left. 16 double.
Doesn't get phased by it, does he?
No.
He's starting to throw well again now, Michael. He's cranked his average up over the 100 mark.
140.
7-4 up.
And Gary not too far away, 95.58. Here's this little kick.
140.
Well, it was what we said, wasn't it? He can always throw this in, and generally does at some point.
He always seems to have a spell where he puts 4 or 5 blinding legs together.
This could be it. That's his 5th maximum, the 8th of the match. Well, Gary's not exactly throwing a bag of nails, is he?
Thrice 140s.
Good darts again. Now Anderson's got to take this, Chris. 81. Treble 12. Ooh, didn't need that.
He should have made sure of the big 12. Will he get punished?
41.
You'd think it's highly likely the way Van Gerwen's throwing at the moment. 56 required. Double 18 now.
40.
Anderson breathes again.
Got away with that one. Dodged a bullet.
Important. Very important. If another one had slipped away against the throw, then you'd have started to suspect that Van Gerwen would have 1 foot in the final.
54.
Another one of those game on, game over moments. 8-4. He's there or thereabouts, isn't he?
63.
Unlucky. That was a bit of an ouch moment as he bent down to pick that dart up.
This will hurt even more.
139.
Good shot again.
There's no quitting Gary, that's for sure. He will battle and battle and battle. He will not give Michael an inch. Hence the scoreline.
It's not a great leave, that first dart. Had to work along the hockey, did well to find the treble with the third.
180 leaves double 16.
180.
Oh, great darts. 4th maximum, 10th of the match. Van Gerwen gets another break here, it's just about over.
He can somehow break the Anderson. He's only going to be 2 away, and he has the throw in the next leg. We could be going into our 3rd break somewhere around 10-5.
Not impossible. Another brilliant visit from Van Gerwen.
Nothing Anderson
He's
can do.
poised.
On 185, yeah, 170. Ball maybe. Oh, that is so unlucky.
40. Michael
that's cruel.
70.
Letting the referee pick the dart up. Double 8. Which is for a 14 darter. Make it 15. And another break of throw. And Van Gerwen, only 2 more needed. He's not too far off home and hosed.
He certainly isn't. Still needs to stay switched on because Anderson's still a threat, averaging still north of 95.
Saw him flexing his shoulders, flexing his back there before he stood up, Gary Anderson, and coming with a good visit.
Flexing his scoring power then.
58.
Again, at the time when you expect Michael to kick on, every time he's not. He's now relinquished the throw and giving Anderson an opportunity to get back in the match.
Moving gingerly now, though, Anderson. He's hurting again.
100.
Not enough. 22 plus these in front.
Now that's costly. Needed a treble and couldn't find it.
60 behind now. Can't find a treble. Does this time, may stay there.
96.
No finish, Grant Van Gerwen. Anderson on 224. A good time for pinging them into the trebles, and it's just not happening. Asking what's left.
Could go 18, could go ball. Oh, went 15 to leave 170.
Oh, good dart. Important darts, Van Gerwen.
Getting the crowd 170.
This
Well,
should be a way to
got to
sort of
take
stay
it,
in the
hasn't he?
contest.
Got to take it, I think.
Yeah, has
That's
to go.
one. No, not to be.
140.
Don't leave them.
Michael Crown 54.
So this is for 10-5. Tops. And there it is, easy as you like. Michael Van Gerwen, the world #1 this weekend here in Milton Keynes, is on something of a mission. In this semi-final, moving inexorably now towards a final clash with his fellow Dutchman, Raymond van Barneveld, it would seem. He needs just one more leg, and he leads Gary Anderson 10-5. The green machine is poised. Michael Van Gerwen needs just one more leg to account for Gary Anderson 10-5 up and moving towards that final, which will be against Raymond van Barneveld.
16th leg.
Other news.
Gary, you
UK
go
Open
first.
qualifiers, as
Game
I
on.
said, the Riley's taking place. Jason Mould from Norwich, another one coming through that we'll see down at Minehead, beginning of March, ITV4.
100.
You remember these names and you take note of these names, because let's not forget, a couple of years ago there was a lad who came through who we didn't really know. Well, that's not too bad, is it? We know all about him. Maximum for Van Gerwen, a lad called Rob Cross.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he didn't do bad in the end, did he?
No, we thought he had a bit
16.
of potential.
Did okay. Thanks for that info from my old pal Sean Greatbatch.
57.
It was a
Great player in
good-
his own right.
He was. It was a good spot, wasn't it? Very much so. Good response from Gary Anderson.
180.
Not giving up.
Told you, there's no quitting that man.
Brilliant.
180.
Anything you can do, I can do likewise.
8 now for MVG in this semi-final.
123.
5 for
Michael
Anderson,
Crown
but
84.
for the match jump.
84.
Ooh.
83 now. Well, he can't do it this time, so Anderson's coming back.
78.
Does he go straight at it?
Yeah, he's left 6.
22.
No, sir.
Michael Crown 6.
So double 3. And there it is. Michael Van Gerwen averaging nearly 102. Gary Anderson with that persistent back problem through the weekend. He gave it a good go here in the matches he's played, but Michael Van Gerwen, without reaching his very best, he moved on okay into the final. He'll be playing Raymond van Barneveld, and he's won this match 11-5.
So we have an all-Dutch final tonight. Adversaries, Michael van Gerwen against Raymond van Barneveld. Mighty Mike, it was 4-4 at one stage, but then Michael pulled away. Wonder whether Gary perhaps felt his back at some stage, but regardless, Michael fully deserving his place in the final. 101 average for him, 95 for Gary. And there we have it. This is what we have to look forward to in a short while. And Chris Mason's hot-footed it up here. What do you make of that performance from Michael?
Yeah, he was not quite like what we've seen against James Wade, but you know, his tournament average has dropped to 104 after having an 101 average in that. That just shows you how well he's played. Yeah, it was tidy enough. You know, Gary gave it everything he had, but you know, obviously the twinges in the back were, you know, really holding him back.
Just explain how painful it can be for a player who has a back problem to be playing a couple of matches in one day, and of course yesterday as well.
Well, it's a lot. You tend to warm up and then you'll sit down. You know, he had a good 3 hours in between matches, well, probably nearly 4. And that would have sort of, you know what it's like. You played sport, the muscle tightens up, and then you've got to start pushing it all over again. And I mean, I think it's a combination of muscle and nerve damage. When you extend, you know, the trick of this game is light grip, full extension. Well, at that point, you can see that's where it, you know, and then you're frightened to get to the end of your throw. And when you've seen him do it, you could see the expression on his face. He hit the treble 20, but it was too painful.
Yeah.
And then he was trying to lob them in at times, but, you know, he gave it his best shot. And, you know, just fingers crossed he next 3 months.
Yeah, he's playing Michael Smith in the Premier League in Dublin on Thursday, but he's going to be back to his physio on Tuesday, so hopefully that will do the trick for him. Well, we shall be looking ahead to our much anticipated final between Michael van Gerwen and Raymond van Barneveld when we come back.